If the Republicans go along with Donald Trump on Venezuela, Americans will pay the price in blood and in treasure, while Republicans could very well pay the price politically.
This wasn't a law enforcement action. They're lying to the American people when they say that. It was an unprecedented military action.
This all started in early September around drugs. Never mind that, the drugs that kill Americans are fentanyl, not the cocaine that comes out of Venezuela. But look, I think you have to take the president at his word. 22 times in his press conference did he use the word oil.
Okay, there's a sample, right? Big name Democrats blasting the arrest of Maduro. Some on the left reportedly think the party should be celebrating the move. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, member of the Armed Services Committee, a Republican. Senator, welcome back to our program here. This is Chuck Schumer then, February 2020, and this is him last night. Roll this.
And the president brags about his Venezuela policy? Give us a break. He hasn't brought an end to the Maduro regime. The Maduro regime is more powerful today and more entrenched today than it was when the president began. When the United States engages in this kind of regime change and so-called nation building, it always ends up hurting the United States. I left the briefing feeling that it would again.
Okay, apparently that briefing was in depth, and it went almost 2.5 hours. Hard to keep the other side happy, I guess, Senator. What's your view on that?
Bill, what you have is Democrats. They're not America policy. They're not America first policy. They're not for pro-America. They're for politics. I mean, obviously, you see Chuck Schumer, that is the biggest hypocrite that I've ever been around in my life, who is contradicting himself just 5 years ago, because that speech that he gave was in 2018. You also have Dick Durbin that gave the similar speech at the similar time in 2018. You have Tim Klein, who said the exact same thing, and Chris Murphy, who came out, and I'll read it to you, said, quote, "Getting rid of Maduro is good for the United States." That was in 2019. Now, it's good for America, and that it's about regime change. We know for a fact that Maduro was running drugs into the United States and was killing our friends and our family members, poisoning our states, and for Jim Hines to go out there and say that cocaine isn't killing people, it's fentanyl, I'm going, excuse me? I'm sorry, cocaine isn't tearing apart families. Cocaine hasn't tore apart families for decades now. How ridiculous is someone to say something like that because of their hatred for President Trump? How about we stop the politics and do what's right for America first? But the Democrats are incapable of doing that.
Okay, apparently behind closed doors, it might be a different conversation. I say that because of this quote from Axios. Democrats fume at their party's response to Maduro.
Please subscribe to our official channel, USA News.